Greetings everyone. In today's video we are going to start to talk about technology. We're going to build on technology over the next couple of videos, but in today's video we're going to talk about what I call a virtual reset. Now, I know everyone's familiar with technology and the internet, but how did it become so prevalent in our lives over the last couple of decades? Well, I feel that it's fed two important desires that we have as humans. The first is connectedness. We love to be connected to one another. It's one of our deepest desires. A good example of this is the telephone. You know, when the telephone was invented, it was a huge leap forward for the human race because we could walk over to the telephone, punch a couple numbers, and talk to a long-lost relative that was hundreds of miles away. Now, the internet took that a whole nother step forward, another gigantic leap forward for the human race, because not only could we share it with one person, but we could share it with hundreds, thousands, even millions of people at a time. And we could share absolutely anything we wanted, from, you know, our thoughts and ideas, our ambitions, the things that we're doing in our life, our kids, trips, all the way down to what we're eating at the time. So we can share absolutely anything at an instant. And part of this connectedness, and the second major desire that it feeds, is it allows us the opportunity to express ourselves. You know, whatever hobby you're into. I'm into cars, so cars is a way for me to express myself. My fiance is into music. She plays her guitar. That's a way for her to express herself. Social media is just another outlet for us to express ourselves. It's a stream of our consciousness about our thoughts, ideas, ambitions, everything that I shared. And so with those two pieces and heavy desires that we have deep down within us, that's how the internet has grown to be so powerful, and why we consume so much of our time using technology and the internet. So now that we have this shared understanding of how it's become so prevalent, this is why I want to talk about why we need to have a virtual reset. Okay, the goal of this video is to talk about why it's important to take the time to have that reset, the benefits that we can have from the time spent away from the screens, and just an understanding of how this has kind of happened to us a little bit further than what I just explained. So to get right into it, the main thing for us to look into are our priorities. What is it that we make important in our life? Now, it's been recorded that the average adult spends about 8 hours behind a screen, whether it's your telephone, or I'm sorry, your cell phone, your TV, your laptop, 8 hours a day. And so I know from my cell phone for a long time, it would go the entire 2.5 year span that I owned it without ever turning it off, or rarely turning it off. It would, you know, go down to 10%, plug it in at night, the next day it'd be 100%, and I'd go on, you know, using my cell phone. But even my cell phone, after about a year, it doesn't always happen right away, but after about a year of running constantly, it starts to have some failures. The screen starts acting up, you'll be in an application or something and it will, you know, leave the application. All kinds of faults, right? A computer is supposed to be a non-flawed system. And even a computer needs time to reset. Because what do we do when that happens? We take our cell phone, we turn it off for 30 seconds, and then we turn it right back on, and it's back to, you know, working completely like new until it happens again. And so we are way more fragile. I know it's hard to hear that, but we are way more fragile and sensitive to a reset. And so if we go 2 years, or however many years we've been doing it, without separating ourselves from technology, we become a different person. And so as we talk about priorities, you know, the internet is important, that connectedness is important, but not to the point if we are abusing it. You know, one of the first things that we're going to talk about is our family and our friends that we have local to us. You know, are we present when we are with those family and with those friends? I've been to dinner, I've been to school, I've been to work, and we'll sit around the table on our phones instead of looking at one another. You know, and of course it's become a common practice. It's not that there's anything wrong with it, but you're missing that opportunity to be present. And there's so much that can be gained from connectedness within personal distance as opposed to behind a screen, whether it's your phone, laptop, tablet, whatever. So the first benefit is to be present with the people that you have around you. Even when you're in the grocery store in an awkward situation, you have the opportunity to meet somebody new. Learn about somebody, in that personal distance that you have around you that could be a benefit to your business, to your personal life. My fiance and I, we met in one of the most odd ways, but if I would have just stuck my head behind my cell phone, I would have never been able to get to know her like I did, and she get to know me like she did, and we would have never evolved to the status that we're at. So much can be gained from the personal presence that we have around the people that we have around us, okay? Now, the next thing is our ability to remain grounded. As we're always moving, unfortunately there's a lot of stuff that's going on in the world that may be negative, from shootings to politics to whatever it may be that may cause a stress to you. We get so caught up in it that what we absolutely need in those moments is to become grounded. But what do? We just share it. Did you see this? Did you hear about that? Start a group chat, and then next thing you know, you're still behind your screen and not taking the time to spend your own time, your you time, to develop and understand what's going on in and around the world. And so some very simple things you can do. It doesn't have to be long, time consuming at all. Just leave your phone at home, drive over to the park, walk over to the park, and go in the woods. Go around the nature walk. Walk your dog. Your dog's going to appreciate it, probably could use some exercise. I know my dog is getting a little chubby, so she, of course I can't tell her that, but that's regardless, she's a little sensitive. Either way, get out, get grounded, spend some time with yourself where you can think about things that you want to think about, decode and de-stress from the world around you. Spend some you time. So you're able to get grounded, you're able to be present with your family and friends, and then the last thing is you're really able to explore your creativity. After you're able to decode and handle or declutter everything that you've been taking in, all that information, then it's your time for your brain to really exercise, to really go for that jog and see about what your own neurons can connect and evolve into. One of the things that I think is funny is a table. At one point in history, a table was not invented. Somebody had to sit there and go, man, I could really put my bowl or my plate on something. Something that's straight. I can bring, 3 or 4 other people in, and we can have this connectedness around the table. So that took cognitive thought. We're not done evolving. There are still things that need to be created, and you have the potential and the power to do that, as long as you are able and willing to take the time to spend some time getting creative, thinking about what can be invented and brought to this world to make it a better place. And it's not going to happen as we're taking in more and more information, not allowing ourselves to then apply that information and that knowledge. So these are some very important benefits that we can gain from just doing a virtual reset. Now, what exactly goes into a virtual reset? Again, it can be 15 minutes, but I truly recommend all the way up to a 24-hour period. I know some of you are probably freaking out. I run an e-commerce business. I have social media. I'm right there with you. I'm on the same path, same endeavors. But the benefits that I have when I do take that virtual reset are just tremendous. And I'm able to come back and be a completely new and refreshed person to then move forward with my work week or with my family or with my personal endeavors and ambitions. So all of these points are extremely important. I hope that you're able to kind of put it aside. Understand that technology is a huge part of who we are, but it's not who we are. We have a heartbeat, we have our brains, and we need to keep that priority. Technology is to be used as a tool, not us be the tool being used by technology. So please share your comments down below. I would love to hear from you both in favor and against. I'm always interested to see what you guys are thinking and what we can build on together. So add your comments down below. In future videos on technology, we're going to talk further about our health and how it can actually lead to chronic stress. And chronic stress is a chronic illness that will decrease the longevity in our life, but also how we live. And those two things are extremely, extremely important, especially how we're living. So realize that this video is based around a fresh you. And some of us need it from time to time. I recommend once a week. I try to do about 12 to 24 hours of just family time, just me time. You can exercise, meditate. Those are all very good things that you can do and introduce into your life without your cell phone. You know, taking your phone to the gym doesn't count. Leave it stowed in the locker and just spend some you time. All right. A lot of really good information on technology coming up. Hit the subscribe button if you like this video and you want to see more content like this. Like I always remind you, we're just getting started. So much more information in all areas of life coming your way. I would love for you to be part of this journey and watch me evolve. You know, I'm always growing. I'm nowhere near my ceiling. I try to not have a ceiling, so I have a lot more room to grow, and I would love to have you along the way. See me evolve, and I would love to see you evolve as well. That's absolutely my goal. I want to help as many people as I possibly can, and it helps me do that when you hit that subscribe button, because then I know that you're getting the material and sharing in this journey. In other news, visit my website, jrsinspires.com. Ebook's going to be released here soon. The Head First program is going to be released as well, helping us build and reinforce foundation in our life. It's going to help a lot of people. Could be you. Just stay tuned. But until next time, guys, I'm Jonathan. That's all the time I'm going to take for today. Thank you for your time. Peace.